Right. To those who are at home, welcome back to the second part of the lecture. I'm so moved. Some people are watching at home. All right. So here, I just show you the first part. Camera. Let's do some demo here. And hello. I'd like you guys to follow and ask questions. So please, if no one asks question, I'll be really sad. So obviously, if I can't click on this one, so let's see. Camera. Now notice what am I doing here, right? When I tap this, it goes to a new controller, okay? And in this new controller, Phương. In this new controller, there's an upload button. So the default thing for the camera is beautiful. It's so easy. Tap on upload, and it will ask again. Don't do this at home, right? For your app, don't be so lazy, but give the user, maybe there's a button, right? Grant access. If user, instead of the upload button, you show the user like, give me camera access. I don't know. But in this case, it's pretty obvious. So maybe it's okay. You want to say, I would recommend saying that, hey, you want to upload a picture. Are you sure would you like to give us the access to the camera? Say something shorter. All right. So I won't click on don't allow. I click on OK. Later, let's click on allow. Choose an image. Oh, this is not a good idea. Okay, my phone. But yeah, so this is my office, my desk 4 years ago. Facebook just reminded me, and I click that and go back to this controller. So how do we do that? Very quickly. Entering camera, right? And with storyboard, when you click on this camera thing, I already create a segue that go to the camera controller. And here it's very simple. I have an image view and upload. Now the API for camera is pretty simple. What you really need to know, that's why you're in class. You're not at home because it saves you time. You are responsible for this thing called present view controller. But when you present, always remember, when you write present, you are responsible for dismissing. If you don't provide this code, it's okay. It still seems to work a few times. And then sometimes there's just bugs that it's not fun to have. So cancel, and then if you dismiss it altogether, it will save you a lot of headache. All right. So did cancel, obviously. Or when the user did finish picking media with info. It's a long name, but what you really care about is this thing, right? There's a key, there's a value here, and you basically get it from this info object. It's a dictionary from string to any object, but what any object here is just an image, pretty much all the time. And whoa, what I just did was to, not there, but let's see, upload one more image. Let's get one from selfie. No. Yeah, let's get this one, right? This is the current office. Look at how big Charles' monitor is. So, see, this basically what I'm doing is I'm editing the image, right? And I choose, and then it edits. So I'm keeping the edit image, and I put it in image view. Pretty simple, right? Image view is just something with the image property in it. Now remember to dismiss it when you're done. So how does it work when you tap a button? For a lot of things, UI alert view controller, many other things later for context. Here, UI picker, simple UI image picker controller here. You created this controller. The reason why you set this delegate is obviously you tell the current controller what to do when the image is finished, right? By now, you know that everything you're doing with iOS, text field, value change, from as basic as text field to many other things, including table view. So now in this case, allow editing. That's what I just did, right? Sometimes we forget this and we're like, oh, okay. Now what's interesting here is photo library. There are two options only, right? If you do the first option, obviously it will crash in your simulator. It only works on your phone, okay? So that's simple. Any question about the camera? It's like so much magic. You don't have to deal with graphic, image, or anything. So that's a basic camera framework. Or one more time, go down here. Now, what if I can do something cooler? AVFoundation. look at that. And now this is like so meta, right? I take a picture of my student and then I capture, you see, so I render this live in this UI view, but I keep the ratio. You see the black bar around it because obviously you actually doing the ratio, right? And then down, when you tap, it saved that still image down here. So you capture another one. Let's say capture the screen, right?
On your phone, on your phone.
Oh yeah, on my phone. I keep using. All right. All right. So this will happen when you develop iOS apps. You will forget what you're using. All right. So and then if I rotate, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So technically, because it's aspect fit, it can only do that much. I'm using auto layout, but you know, maybe you can decide. But I have so little screen, so I can maybe try to center it. I'm using UI stack view for this entire thing. So one more time, perfect. Okay, so that's how it works with AVFoundation. So what the hell is it? All right. So where's the code? Where's the code? AVFoundation. I want to show you how that's done. It's not as simple. This is the underlying structure, and obviously there are guides to do it. It's just showing you to save you time, right? I define the key element down here. Where's this one, right? Okay, here's maybe quickly I'll show you. I'm using UI stack view here. So this is a horizontal stack, and then this is another horizontal stack, and you can tell it to fill. You can have equal distribution. It's a layout structure, and then you can set the layout around stack view. Now you have the image, the capture button. So that's when you tap the button. You have the preview view here. It's just a UI view. Now, how do you update UI view with an image, right? You have a capture image view, which is down here. So when the idea is when you get here, you're not doing it with view.load. Actually, you start a session, put it in view, it will appear, and you have to be careful that the image size could be big. So if you upload it online, you want to downsize it. Okay, store it in a smaller version, and then you have to take care of input and output. And pretty much when you put this code that we put in the guide, then it's the only thing you have to remember is size. Make sure that the size is small enough to upload online. Camera, make sure you have code good enough to deal with what device you're using. So a camera is a device. So here is the back camera. How do you call the back camera? How do you call the front camera, right? To use it. Maybe you're building an app to take selfie about something, and you know that could be useful. Dave, you guys use this AVFoundation framework, right? Because you allow people to press film and go around. So with the layer, right? This guy right here, preview view, right? So by now we already understand that this is a CREC object. Assign it to this view layer, and when you have the view layer, then the preview view you can just do add sub layer. Right? Like what is that? Remember last time we did core graphics, the core animation stuff. Layer is just similar to view, but it has way more API calls and it's more complicated. So you can do 3G stuff. You can do this more API calls. So, but it's very similar. So you have to do .layer add sub layer, right? If you just stick with UI kit, UI view, then it's just add sub view. Okay. There's a few things with video. It's really specific, but when you do it, you obviously will come across all this API into connection. What I want to show only to encourage us to think of what do I need. It's not like I need something to show real time. It means I need something to capture input and then just render it, right? Output. So session start running the video. So that's AVFoundation framework, and we have this code, and if you want to tweak it for your product, that will work. Or if you ask Dave for a more complicated demo app. Okay, with that, we cover the main demoable. Let me see if I have another to demo. Oh, contacts. Let's get to contacts next. So I mentioned how important contacts is with the iOS simulator. It just default your contact is just one guy, Daniel Higgins from Apple, like at apple.com. At email is d.huggins@mac.com. Now you can add. Apple does not give you your contact list. We're sure of that, right? You know that's a limitation, right? What you want here is you can add people. Now you may think that, oh my God, every time I add, I have to do this. That's a lot of work, right? Well, you can also add multiple, and when you add multiple, then it gives you a check mark. So what's the difference? Contacts, view controller. It's easy now with contact list, iOS 9 only. Okay, no more address book stuff. Contact store is what you need, similar to CL location manager, right? Contact store is what you need. CN contact is the list of contacts. In that contact, you have everything, properties, name, email, name it, first name, last name, and even your own fields. You look at your contacts app, you see there's so many things in there. Now, when you tap the button, what I'm trying to do here is add existing contacts. So what does it do? Add existing here. I do the lazy way, similar to UI picker in Photos controller, right? Contact picker view controller. How convenient. So usually they give you two things. One is the view controller for you to present. Two is the delegate for you to get the data back. Right? So that's I present this guy, but I'm still with my controller here. I present it. I need to get data back, so I have to do .delegate. Now, if I do .delegate, it will complain, right? I have to do that delegate contact picker here, and then two things you have to remember. Okay, did the user select something or did the user cancel? So this is very easy. Did select contact and did cancel. That's okay. So when you select a contact, notice what I'm doing here. Objects append the contact that's returned as selected. But when you append, nothing will show up. It's doing it in the non-UI thread. So what I'm doing here is dispatch async, right? Dispatch get main queue. This is your UI thread, and then you go there and say, hey, reload my data, right? So that's how you add and you get more information down here. Now, what if you want to do more complicated things than just delegate? It seems very complicated. What if you want to update your model? You want to start calculating some average. Maybe you want to do something in the background, right? You could do that over here. Another way is to do this, and it's not the best way, but if it helps you get your product done and then you can go back and make it better, you can use NS Notification Center, and then you just say post notification name, add new contact, and you send the contact with it anywhere in your app. You can just call NS Notification Center, default center, and then you can get it, right? You can get, you put a selector, right? You put a method, declare a method that run. So this is the very anti-pattern way. Delegate is better, keep your logic separate. But if you really have to do it, this is a lazy way that also help. What you shouldn't do is store this contact into NS user default and then load it. NS user default is super slow. It also has limited data, very small. So it's great for some of the preferences stuff. It's for storage, but it's slow. And again, if you have this object that In this case, okay, context not too much. You can do that, but if you think that's the first thing you think about, sometimes then you start saving a lot of unnecessary thing in there. So I just mentioned 3 different ways to pass data around. Right? Now what if I want to select many? So here, so you can actually select many by doing did select contacts. Okay? The difference is if you have 2, Apple will complain. It's like, hey, make up your mind. What do you want? Select one or select many? Unfortunately, so Apple will say, because you have both, I will select many. So it will run this. But so basically here what? How do I append? How do I add? Maybe like, can I do that? Context. Does it crash? So, and then what else? I need to do exactly the same thing over here. Right? So, I have a feeling that adding to array may not be good, but maybe we're lucky and it will build. Alright, we'll see. So it built and it will work then. So notice I go here and I, wait, what happened? No, that's not good. We want, did select many contacts. I'm not sure this is doing the right thing. Did select contacts. I commented out this guy, right? It's not reloading this. Something's gone wrong. All right. Oh, it's building to my iPhone. How clever. Okay. So you cannot see my iPhone anymore. So it's. Oh, iOS. Okay. Contacts. Add. Here it is. So technically you can have an add button and then up here you can say select many. That's really up to you. And then you present it yourself. But what I'm doing here is, actually even Apple is a little weird here. Huh? Cancel and done. But yeah, this is very hard to reach. Right? So if I do this now, I can add a lot to the view, and I think something's wrong with reloading the data. Wait. Maybe it doesn't add that one, so it removes duplicate, right? Oh, great. Yeah? Well, it does a few funny stuff. This is the duplicate. Right. So storyboard, you can do more than this name. Where's my contacts? Oh, up here? All right. Right, you put email, and you can probably look at your old contact app and print it accordingly. Right now, let's do something here. I am going to reset everything. Can someone guess why I'm doing this? I reset. Before you reset, you should stop the app, and then wow, there's like 2 things here. So quit everything and rebuild. So what do I achieve when I reset? Huh? Yes, thank you. See, I can understand what he's saying. If it's no.
Good one.
I can read people's mind. So, well, all the permissions so far, when you test, then you can do it yourself, right? I don't allow, and then you can make it work. Now, another way is obviously to do it yourself here. Go under, where do you go? Go under this app. Maybe, I don't have it here, huh? Because, right. If I build it, then the app will be in there and you can go in there and toggle it. Now here's something new. iOS 9 give you one function. It's like open settings page. I forgot what it's called, but you can find it. Click on it. Now give the user that if you really cannot check it, and then it will show you. Take you to this settings page. Make life, it's more forgiving now. So let's look at this contacts. I'll show you what I mean. There you see? About your contacts. So I have to, I'm showing user, hey, something interesting is going to happen. To do this, I have to ask for your contacts, okay? I was like, no. It's like, okay. right? No problem. I'll ask again, maybe, right? You don't say that, right? Then they will be like, I uninstall you. No, you say, oh, okay, sorry, there's nothing interesting here. Come back next time. So then it's like, okay, I'm curious now. All right, let's go back. But give me your contacts. Okay. Now you ask this, right? You ask this, and you hope, if you do this 99% of the time, they will actually click maybe 100%, right? If only your friends use your app, then they like you, and then they click OK, and then you have it. So do it for everything that you ask permission. It will make your life easier. It show you it's professional, and it's so easy to implement. Let's implement. Look at how I implement it while falling asleep. It's really, because it's that easy. So I implement an AZE a weird way here. I do a show message function, and then I say, well, I want to use this show message for everything. Notification, or you just say yes or no. So I do an OK handler. It can be a function or nil, right? A cancel handler, function or nil. So by now okay, message, I pass it in. Of course, you can customize your title. Nothing interesting here. To type prefer style, you can do alert or action sheet. Action sheet go up at the bottom. Now next, if you have a cancel handler, optional, remember, then I show the second cancel button, right? If not, then I only show the OK button. If you don't add any button, there's no way the user can get out of it. Then you're like, oh, let's quit the app. So I need to put an OK button here. So now, because it's a block, right? So by using let, I unwrap the option, and then in here, this action, I call it in the block, I call it this handler. So if the user click cancel, I can do that. This show message can pass in what to do when the user say cancel. This message can pass in what to do when the user say okay. That seems okay. Present this. You can also decide what to do after you present to the to the user, right? Most of us always put this block as nil, completion block. Now here's the interesting part. When I call this function, add existing contact, right? It looks harmless, right? But what happened here is, when I load the view, you can put this get contacts in that add existing. But let's say get contacts here is trying to do two things here. It's trying to load your contacts so far, and it also tries to make sure that the permission is correct. Now you check the status. Here's what I'm trying to do. If I don't know whether user has accepted me or not, then I say, give me your contacts. You look at my OK handler. If they say OK, then you go ahead and get the contacts that Apple give your app. So you only have one user, remember? Like the one person. It's not the whole contact list. So now this is a store of your contact store. You have to start with 0 and you have to build up. So you pass it in. Basically, when you call this function, unlike location, you call request for permission, right? This one doesn't have it. This one with contact, you call the API, and then it will ask for permission. Now, but notice that I only do this if the user click OK first. If the user doesn't say it's not OK, then I say show message, right? OK, thank you. So nil. I don't have to do anything. This is one OK button, right? Or you can just cancel it. It's up to you. But notice how my show message is very useful. I can use it in different places. You can use some CocoaPods library to have more beautiful alert box if you want. You can use UI Kit Dynamic to do animation. The alert will come like, it's make something that look really sad if the user say cancel, right? So what are the possible statuses, right? If it's authorized, obviously this means every new time in the future. In this case, you have to check because I'm doing this custom message. So you also retrieve this one you request and retrieve. This one you just retrieve. And then next here is show message again. If I remove, what you want to do here is not just show message. You actually want to take the user to the settings page. Alright, so what's in my request for access? It's actually the same idea. Check the status again, but then you check for those things. Right? This is the code I sort of get from the guide and external page, so I dump it here and I wrap it around my method up here. So I feel like this is not very good. Deny is quite useless here. Like you shouldn't group them together. Okay, so in deny here, right? You want to take them to the useful place. Any question about context? All right, so that's context. Push notification. I'd say very quickly we'll go through some of the stuff. I have the slides here. If you want to just take a look, it's pointless if I just like talk pretending that we all understand. This is all just some quick point to see if it helps us think about what we can use for the product. You revisit, maybe you find some good class name because it's not easy to find them. So there's events kit. Anything related to reminders, calendars. There's now, by the way, some of this we leave it in Objective-C code. Who here can read Objective-C code? Raise your hand. You should all raise your hand. It is so easy. Like, this is let store equal event store. This unlock init just mean open, close, right? Then this one, like this means store dot. It's a message. It's in type zone. Store dot request access entity type, and it's some of this is changed, but it can be really easy, right? So when you see, let me find one that is harder. This one, open maps with items. So in with Swift, it's very clever. When you see with items, it just like remove that and you say open map and then open and then items. So sometimes you're like, where's that with method? They just remove the with. Init with items, something like that. They all become just init. So see, we can do email, SMS. You see that each of this you already have some controller, right? The useless controllers by now is probably table view controller. It's like I never use it, right? Except in this case, but Safari controller, camera picker controller, context picker controller, mail controller. These are built for you. Just import the UI and you can get them. It's nice. You just present them again. Did cancel, and by now you all know. Oh, it's just delegate. Did select, did cancel, did send message. Call motion, well, is unfortunately it's still ugly. Right, so you will have to then handle with some just basic like raw number stuff. But there are good tutorials, so you can do that easily.